This is Miles Offit. Michael, we have made it. We've made it to the summit. We get to talk about our own teams instead of all these shitty other teams. Liverpool today.
All the bad teams.
Yeah, we're talking about your team today, Liverpool.
Let me hold that beat.
Liverpool Football Club ended last season in second place, 92 points, 28-8-2. They were 15-4-0 at home, and then on the road 13-4-2. They scored 94 goals last year, gave up 26 for a 68 goal differential. It's insane.
And we lost.
And he lost by a point.
Yeah.
It was a 2-horse race last year between them and City. This Liverpool team is uber talented. Has so much going for it. To start off, because we're going to probably have to do this a little bit differently since these are both of our teams. Where is their strength for you? Like where are you guys the strongest? And then I could probably talk to you about what I fear the most when I'm a City fan.
This is a tough question. I think it kind of goes into what we were saying about just the best teams in the league. We have a ton of options. I mean, especially in attack. When everyone's healthy, you have Firmino, you have Salah, you have Diaz, you have Jota, you have even Harvey Elliott, you have Nunez who just came in. Carvalho's a attacking midfielder. All attacking options for the most part. Mm-hmm. And then defensively, we got the best center back in the world. Like, I think I say that, and I see people who say, like, you know, oh, he stuck his leg out against Mitrovic or whatever, and that's great. Like, he fucked up literally once. I mean, yeah. Every other time I see an attacker running after a defender, like to a defender, I'm like, advantage attacker every time. Advantage guy with the ball, got to beat one guy. Every time I see somebody running at Van Dijk, I'm like, well, unless there's like two other guys there, it's probably fine. And yeah. I don't know. I think you can literally talk to most other fans of teams. They would sit there and they would go, yeah, I would love to have him. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. So defensively, we're really good. Obviously, we've got, 26 goals last year. Alisson's obviously really good. And then I think we have an identity. We have a team identity. We're a team that has, and I said it on the podcast about United, you got a lot of talented players, maybe at this point, but you do. You have a lot of talented guys that have absolutely no clue what they're doing together. They have no cohesion, and I think we're a very cohesive team.
Yeah, I think to couple onto that, if there's two distinct advantages that the two teams that have been battling it out for the Premier League for the past 4 years have, one, honestly, I mentioned this for the last couple of episodes, Alisson and Ederson are the two best goalkeepers in the Premier League, and I don't think it's close. Jose Sa can stop a lot of good shots, but like what they can do for your team is bigger than what any other goalkeeper can do for their team. They are a fifth center back when you are trying to play out of the back. They are able to play balls out. They are able to start a break. Like, not many goalkeepers can do that, and I think it's a huge advantage that we have because we also kind of play into that a little bit. At least my team does. Your team does a little bit. The number two, and it's the biggest advantage that both these teams have, the coach. Jurgen Klopp is now, 8 years? 9 years?
8 years.
8 years into the project and the process. They're probably the best drilled team. That they know what they want to do every game. They know what their identity is. Like you just said, you know the system. You know who's going to fit in the system. You know what you need to get. And then you guys go and get it. Like, it's not like you're a Chelsea that's like, we need a striker, and then you don't go get it or the right one. You guys are, I want to say, shooting like 98% from the field on transfers anymore. The people that you do get come in and they do the job that they're supposed to do. Michael, if we had to pick out a weakness, I think it's really hard. Again, these are two two historically very, very good teams. If we had to pick out a weakness, what is the weakness that you are circling for the Reds?
I don't think it's hard. I think it's a midfielder.
Why and why is that?
Henderson's getting older. Milner is 37 or whatever. Thiago's hurt a little bit too frequently. Fabinho's great. I think Fabinho's right up there with best CDM in the world. I think Elliott is coming into his own there. But in terms of like, again, you could sit there and you could make an argument. We have 4.5 starting attackers for 3 positions. You could sit there and you could say we have 3 starting center backs for 2 positions, and we have, I would say, 3 wing backs for 2 positions too, because I think Tsimikas is really good. I think Ramsey's pretty good, but I've never seen him play, so like I don't know. We have 2, I would say 1.5 midfielders for 3 positions right now. I think Henderson goes in there and does a job. Keita, again, injured a lot. Injured right now. Thiago, injured. Chamberlain hasn't been the same for 3 years. Gets injured a lot too. I feel really bad for him. Carvalho is coming in, but again, he's brand new. I think we're really and I think we're really short there right now. I mean, we need a midfielder. We need a midfielder now.
Yeah,
kind of.
I don't disagree. I think that the glaring weakness is just that A, the midfield is exactly how you described, and B, that our teams are playing at the exact same time in like this simulation. Because any other time, this team is good enough to rattle off 5 straight like Premier League titles, and win it. Like that's kind of the other weakness. We're gonna dive deeper into the midfield, but let's get to the next segment. Who would you buy? Spoiler alert: they're not buying anyone anymore. Obviously, no. I think their business is done. They're out. But there is one player that you have just beat the drum about for the past, I want to say like 3 months, 2 months or so, that you want them to get. Explain to me why Jude Bellingham needs to be playing for Liverpool, what he would do for you guys, why it is so vital that he'd be able to come on over to Liverpool.
Well, first of all, we're not from the UK. We don't know the like relationships that people, players, areas that people grew up or like family members have with like certain blah blah blah. So we only know what we can read about, and I guess like his parents are big Liverpool supporters or like they are fans of the club. He is a big, like he loves Henderson, he loves Trent. He also is like somewhat of a supporter of Liverpool. Apart from that, which again, I don't think like even in American sports, you don't get to go like where you want to, like Freddie Freeman, perfect example. Like dude cried in Atlanta because I guess he wanted to stay or whatever, but like he went to the Dodgers. I don't know. Like you don't always get to do what you want to do in that regard. He could play anywhere. So if he wants to go there, he could go there. He is, I mean, you're looking at your midfielder for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's coming from a place that it's not like he's coming from a team that's unproven at developing young players. I mean, you guys just got a guy from there. Countless other people have gotten guys from there all the time. I think it's like a no-brainer. I just think that same team is also very honest about dealing their players, and they said he can go next summer, so he's not going to go till next summer. Just like your guy, he's not going until we tell him that he's going to go. And once they say, we made your promise, you can go this summer. If you find a team, you can go, and they'll let you go. It's not, not a crazy thing. I want to avoid doing the thing we did 2 seasons ago where we lost every single center back we had, and we panic bought. I can't even honestly remember his fucking name. The dude from Preston, North End. I think it was Davis or Davies.
Man. Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah, and he never played, and then we just like sold him off or whatever. So I don't want to just go buy guys to fill positions, but like I don't want to say we're in a crisis because we still have guys who can play there that are good, But if we want to play, we need consistency. And right now, I think, like, if we're talking about recently, I mean, we have 2 points after 2 games. And I think all the hype from the first game about Nunez, we brought him into a situation where it was just play him the ball. Play the ball into him. It was simple. He didn't have to do a whole lot. Now he's starting the game against Palace, and there's supposed to be some kind of cohesion in the front three, and it's not simple anymore. It's not just blast him the ball and have him head it down or kick it in. He's supposed to be moving. He's supposed to be working with the 2 other guys, and I don't think they understand that yet, or they know how to like work with each other super, super well. And then Nat Phillips, again, I've said it before. Nat Phillips, kind of tough. You play a high line and you get beat on the high line because you probably don't play it a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's not dissect the game. This is just the
well. I'm saying we need the consistent. We need guys to come in. We don't need anybody. We need guys who are going to be there consistently.
Yeah, exactly. All right, a couple of questions. Rapid fire type of stuff. I think I only have like 2, but it's fine. 1, are you going to miss Sadio Mane?
Yeah. I don't think it's possible to not miss a player like Sadio Mane. I think Sadio Mane is so good that Bayern have lost Lewandowski, and they're not going to feel losing him that bad because of Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
Obviously, John. Great question.
You're a terrible question giver.
With Sadio gone, and obviously, you brought in Diaz last year. You brought in Jota beginning of last year too. Is that correct?
No.
And then Darwin now. Year before. And then Darwin now. Who needs to like make the biggest leap into that role then?
Well, I think you have 2 guys. I think you have Diaz and Salah, who are just, they say unplayable, but I think that's like a weird British phrase. You can't sit them. You can't not play them.
First name on the sheets.
Yeah. I honestly think when Jota was up the middle and playing really well, he is such a good like poacher goal scorer that he's going to get you a goal like every other game at least. I'm personally not. I could be super wrong, and he needs some time, but immediately I didn't like the idea of Nunez starting. I mean, he had to because we don't have anybody else to play there today. But I think he needs time because I think again we are such a team dependent on the tactics that it almost has to be second nature. And it just can't. I don't care how long the preseason was or how hard he worked or this or that, or he scored 4 goals in a preseason game or one last game. It's not the same. You got to be. It's like an indoctrination. You have to be in the system for like a long period of time, extended period of time working to like fully get it.
He's rushing Klopp's frat right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bold take. It's my bold prediction for Liverpool. And this is gonna be wrong. I know it's gonna be wrong because I've been saying stuff like this for the past 2 years, and you roll your eyes, and you will again. I actually think that statistically, Salah will roll back a little bit this year. Not bad at all. I think he's gonna have another really, really good year, but I don't think it's gonna matter because I think Luis Diaz is going to take the next leap and the next step. And when Salah finally does, who knows when this will happen? He's the Egyptian king. It may never happen. But when Salah does finally actually get the legs out from under him and he's not running as fast, he can't do the things he does, like whatever, I think Luis Diaz is like just ready to go.
The next guy.
I think he's so impressive. And again, we're recording this on the day that they tied Palace 2-2 or 1-1. The last 30 minutes of that game, there's no one on the field that I was more afraid of, like as a neutral, or if I was a Palace fan, than Diaz. Like when he got the ball, I was like, oh shit! And the goal he scored was a banger.
Yeah.
Michael, Where do you got your team finishing this year?
Well, first off, let me just say I'm pretty sure Salah has literally won or co-won the Golden Boot for like the past 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So statistics and like just the world would tell you that would just not happen, and I don't think it will.
Said bold take.
I know, but I'm just letting you know that's probably also a bad bold take.
I knew that you would say that.
Anyway, I got him winning. I mean, I can't listen. It's one of those things where like I will never. I made a gut decision, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back again, which I know you love when I do. I made a gut decision to take Brentford over Manchester United last week. Paid off. That's what I'm gonna do from now on with Manchester United, and I will always take my gut when I am talking about Liverpool. My head may tell me that we're 4 points behind already, so the league is just done. We lost.
Which is not true.
No, at all. I actually don't believe that at all. But, I mean, I'm going to pick us, because I actually think you guys have a big weakness that no one's talking about.
Which we will next episode.
Well, how good was that? How good was that segment?
The transition god. I obviously got you guys second.
Bitch.
Just kind of the same reasons. If Liverpool would have lost to Fulham and lost to Palace, is there a world where you actually jumped on this recording today and said they finished second?
No. Not after 2 weeks. There's just no way.
All right. That's Liverpool. Michael's guys. Michael's team.
Also my team. I think they're going to win the championship.
Well, now that Wilder's out, you're a big Blades guy.
Fuck Chris Wilder.
All right. That's Liverpool. Like, subscribe, share, leave us some comments. Do the whole thing. Do the business.
Due process for Darwin. Hashtag due process for Darwin.
Hashtag Darwin needs to grow up a little bit. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Jay Wood, let me hold that beat.